setting up a startup step to track progress so you have better insight into what's running. And I kind of got this idea after looking at a number of SQL Server replication jobs because they usually have a startup task that runs quickly and then they have a really long running task. So let me show you an example of this. I had a SQL Server Agent job that I've set up here. I'm going to go look at the properties on it. And in here, this is just demo test one, and there are 3 steps. And what we have in here is we have a startup step, and in that startup step, we'll double click and go and edit it and take a look at it, and we can see that all I'm doing is just select get date in there. Basically, I'm doing something that's fast, isn't going to really take any time, and all I'm expecting with that is that by running that, it's going to put a job entry into the job history. So when I right click here and say start job at step, and we say start at step 1 and close, what we can do is go look at the history at this point, and we can see that this one is running and that the startup step has been completed. What I like about doing this startup step that is just a really quick step that does almost nothing is that it gets something in the job history so you know that it's running. Without that, because in this specific job, step 2 is something that takes some time to run, without that, there wouldn't be anything showing up in this job history until step 2 actually completed. When jobs run, the job history is effectively empty until that step completely finishes. So if we look at this, we can see that it is now finished, and we ended up with job step 1, step 2, and then step 3. So we're able to get a little bit more information there. It's really handy to have the job steps, have a startup step there just so that you can get that history and better understand what's going on.
So have you used the startup steps as kind of a way to find contention between jobs? Or what's kind of your process of doing these? If you're going to compare multiple startups or startup steps, what's your kind of process of being able to see all of that afterwards?
Well, usually what I'm looking at is I'm going to go look at the job history like we did here. If we go into view history, and I can click on this job and maybe 2 or 3 other jobs. And if we're looking at that and we're trying to look at when it started and when it ran, sure, you could extrapolate the start point on this one from, by scrolling over here, wherever the column is, how long it took to actually run, which is not as easily found as you might expect, 15 seconds there. But it's just a handy way to kind of get a better idea of when jobs are run. So, but for looking at contention, I mean, one of the things I look at, I would say it's not really related to that startup step for contention. More for contention, I'm looking at like when jobs are starting at the same time and what jobs are running at the same time. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, please click the thumbs up icon. And if you want to subscribe, click subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notified when we have new videos. All right, have a great day.